Hello everybody, GB4576 here. Today, Death Battle Season 2026 has officially begun with Ichigo from Bleach versus Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I really do not have a stake in this whatsoever. I have never seen Bleach and I have never seen Yu Yu Hakusho. The only thing, if I didn't have to root for somebody, I'd be rooting for Yusuke purely because he's being voiced by Lanny Patura of Team 4-Star, and I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. But according to everybody who's ever done anything, Ichigo is going to win, so I guess I'm gonna bet on him, I guess. And before this begins, I should mention, I know that there was an Odd Ones Out video released last week that I did not react to. I didn't react to it because it was like 44 minutes long and I did not care about what he was talking about. I didn't even know what Warrior Cats even was. But that has nothing to do with this. Let's just get into this. 3, 2, 1, let go. They're still having the fight at the beginning.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
Okay.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Okay.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor,
I
and
see that the
skills to
intros
find
are a
out
bit
who would
slower.
win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
I don't know.
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Maybe.
Our
Yeah,
souls
basically
are
that.
carried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul
I'm sure it
goes
was
astray,
Broomstick.
warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great.
Okay.
Till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came
29
way
years
too early
old,
when
okay.
his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid
Japanese
to be the
name
anime
can be read as
protagonist.
Left with
Strawberry.
his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under
Okay.
the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound
I mean, if
began
it
to
helps
heal
him,
when
it
he
helps
found
him,
his
as long as
calling.
being up the right
Upon meeting a
people.
Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute
Okay.
Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast
Reishi,
amounts
okay.
of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a
Nice
lot of
editing
big words,
style.
but all it really means
While Shinigami are invisible, they are not intangible and can be touched by normal people. This is stated in Chapter 9 of the manga, though the Viz in translation mistakenly says otherwise.
is he's a
Okay.
super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo,
Power,
he can virtually
skills,
fly.
Say
manipulation,
goodbye to the kid who beat
Zangetsu.
up bullies for their lunch money. And hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to
I like how
tear
just
hollows a
have
new
these
hole.
Japanese
While
names and then
balancing
just Chad.
responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible
Oh, yeah,
without his
Tekken.
Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost sword.
Though
Okay.
strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Yeah,
Call him
totally.
Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway,
Okay,
the double ghost
Zangetsus.
sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the sword beam to end all sword beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest
Okay.
hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even
How
from
strong,
frame one.
though?
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Okay.
Plus, early on,
Alright,
Uryu
light
was so
speeds.
fast
Hold
that he
on.
left his own
Other FTL feats include that person dodging sunlight, lieutenants dodging Negation beams, now evading Lil Sparrow's light of judgment, and Lil Toto dodging Yawak's Ashwalen. I have no idea how to pronounce any of that.
Became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc.
Yay,
Hit the
training arc.
music.
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai.
Okay, I think
Ichigo
we're
learned
past
to release
preview.
its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed
Okay.
skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift
Yep,
is
forms.
his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt
Okay.
to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits.
Bankai is
time
5 to
and
10
again.
times stat
Like when he
boost.
took
Okay.
on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
Okay.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude.
Ichigo needed
Yeah, you don't
to
interrupt
tap
the
into
theme
his
song.
unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him
Okay.
off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds
Okay.
even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret
Okay.
Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to
Hey,
train
he
for
actually has
months
a
in the
dad that's
Dangai,
better than most
portal
protagonists in
between
anime.
dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains
Aizen had evolved to threaten the Soul King, a deity whose power stabilizes the 3 realms.
with sheer
Okay.
aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did.
Hey,
Thanks to a
he
surprise assist
did.
from Rukia.
Nice.
Boom! Shinigami again.
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yhwach.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father
Okay.
was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yhwach's plan.
So I actually have a story about 1,000-Year Blood War. Despite the fact that I've not seen it, one time I had to get a new key for my car from a locksmith, and the locksmith asked me if I'd watched Bleach before. I told him no. Then he said, "You really need to watch 1,000-Year Blood War. You don't even need to have to watch the rest of the show. You should just watch it." I still think about that for some reason.
Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai.
True
If
Shikai,
you thought
okay.
Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. Dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kanbachi,
Okay.
who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms.
Okay.
And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, you have
past his
could
prior
move
peak.
all 3
Okay.
realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which
I have
a
no
bunch of
idea
pocket
what
dimensions
those
sprinkled in.
mean.
Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls.
Okay, I think that
Yhwach
sounds
was
like
going to
Universal.
end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo
Okay.
still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new
Oh,
half
wow.
hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Rey Cero.
making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally
Neat.
content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
That's cool. I still don't have any desire to watch
Most
Bleach, but
teenagers
okay.
have no idea what they want to do with their life.
So I do remember
that was
liking
hardly
this
a problem
preview
for
more
juvenile
than
delinquent Yusuke
the
Urameshi,
preview
because he
for
only
Ichigo.
ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ops are,
18,
be they women, old folk, or
trained by
babies.
Genkai,
Yusuke
Spirit
lived to
Detective,
fight. It's what
fights
gave life
anyone.
meaning. Who cares about stupid things like
Shonen
friends and
trash talker,
family?
okay.
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
The anime somewhat differs from the manga, particularly the ending, but expands upon the main story. Also, we are prioritizing the Japanese over English translations. Good to know.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
That's not Truck-kun. That's Car-sama, as CJ DeChamp called him.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan.
Technically,
whose
she
job
rides
was
an
to
oar,
ferry Yusuke's
ferry man of the
newly
dead, and all that, like a
deceased
witch's
spirit off
broom.
to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being
Wow.
such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself
I like
gets
this
caught
music
with
playing in
its
the
pants down.
background.
So the underworld
Nice.
surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation. Then told Satan Jr.
Nah.
to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would
Okay, I know that's out of the mention, but I love this scene because I've seen it on Twitter a few times, and it's just specifically after Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 race, and it was just Donald Trump with acting like this after Biden left. And it was funny.
Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even
Okay,
early
so
on,
he should be
Yusuke
able to
could parry
see
Shizaku's lightning arrows, which are formed
Ichigo's-
from real lightning called down from
Yes,
the
should be
sky.
able to see Ichigo.
And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had
Okay.
a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more
Okay.
versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke
Okay.
may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his
Yeah.
shoes, using sleight of hand to place
Okay, I think
cigarettes
this
on
is
his
new
foe to
stuff.
trap them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies.
Okay.
Even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons
Okay.
and demon fighters
burn his
are
own life
individually ranked
force.
on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass.
Means you're
We're
fucked.
talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star.
Okay.
Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Okay.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to
Yeah,
face
Ichigo had
S-class
universal
threats like Sensei,
stuff.
a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like
Based on Sensui and Genkai's wording, they're like referring to the complete planetary destruction, not just raising the
King
surface.
Enma have shaken
So
both
they're
the
putting
demon
Yusuke
and
at
human
planetary.
That anima guy is strong as balls.
Okay.
In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally, Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly
Okay.
powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Mizoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type
Phone
of
was in my
spirit
pocket
energy,
for some reason.
Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red.
Okay.
Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But
He
as
said
he
no.
was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder
okay.
if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win.
Hell yeah.
Which one of you girl
Tournament arc.
baby or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the demon
By the Demon World Tournament, Yusuke was superior to Hiei, who survived hits from Rakumo, who got through
King
space.
Yomi in
Okay.
an final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mizoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to
Okay.
clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
Okay.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But
That's
I wouldn't
cool.
piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Okay, I do like Yusuke's analysis
Long
more
has
than
its return
Ichigo's.
been foretold, but now, finally,
It's
is
Death
reborn.
Battle back.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better
Oh,
way
neat.
to wear a blood
That's cool.
spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even better materials, and it's available now. Also see the
New
entire
merch.
Death
Okay.
Cool merch.
Okay.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's
Time for a death battle. And pause. So, I didn't really hear any universal arguments for Yusuke, but I did hear a few for Ichigo. So I'm gonna keep my root or bet on Ichigo. So let's just get into this. That's all I have to say about that. As I said, I really don't have a stake in this. I just hope for a good fight. And we're back to sprites. Haven't seen one of these since Ghost Rider versus Spawn. Huh?
That's a demon.
That's a hollow.
No doubt about it.
Who is this? Japanese lyrics in the music?
Spirit guide. Getsuga Tensho.
Okay. I think Yusuke might be better hand to hand. Oh! He hit him in the nuts! Oh! Is that 3D? That's 3D.
Chump change.
Oh!
Reckless idiot.
Are we going to the demon realm?
What a baby. Little demon energy got you scared.
Nah.
Music sounds pretty good.
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Oh, he's powering up.
Hell no!
Oh,
My fight, jackass! You just told me back!
oh, yep, power up. Yusuke powered up first. That means he's gonna lose.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it.
Oh.
Like old times.
On! Kai!
That Bankai form.
Tensa! Sangetsu!
We reached the climax.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
Okay. Oh, damn, huge explosion. Oh. Ho ho. He just.
Give me a freaking break.
Damn, I thought he was gonna cut him in half.
See you on the other side.
Ooh. Well, that went about as expected.
Oh, you think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4
Okay, we
chapters,
still have the
starting with
categories
their abilities.
things.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched.
Yeah.
Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dongai training.
And all those swords, he just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning
Yep.
early on.
Spirit
and
Gun can
obviously
bounce
got
off
much
mirrors,
faster
whatever
over
described
time.
as light.
Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
Okay, I don't think that's actually true because I have seen arguments for Lightspeed Spirit Gun, but yeah, Ichigo's
But
still
Ichigo
faster.
was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed.
Okay.
And Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo
Yeah,
takes
speed.
speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art.
Okay.
Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one
Okay,
a draw.
Ty.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor,
Power.
which could have superseded all other advantages. Power.
Between Sensei
Wow,
and
this is
Genkai
not
and
close
Yusuke
at all.
could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
Yep.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same
Now
time.
that's 2
Pretty
realms.
close to
Ichigo has
Yuhabak's
3.
threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's
Yep.
planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo...
Oh god, this is not close at all. Well, sorry, Yusuke.
The final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
That's cool. Alright, next time. I kind of hoping it's Aang versus Traveler just so they can finally get it over with. But let's see what's
Time
next
on Death
time.
Battle.
Ooh, it's Cell versus Metal Sonic. Or Metal Sonic versus Cell.
Subscribe and
Okay, yep.
join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Death Battle is back,
Oh.
and so is our new tabletop gaming channel.
Okay, yeah,
Nightly Brew.
got the ad for
We've got
Nightly
everything
Brew.
on there from Uno to Dungeons and Dragons, and a very special all-new Blood on the Clock Tower airing right now.
Oh,
so,
okay,
come
that's
join
cool.
us at the Nightly Brew. Click the thing. Check this out.
Okay, thanks, Chad. That's cool. So yeah, that was Ichigo versus Yusuke, and yeah, that was kind of what I was expecting, not gonna lie. Yusuke got destroyed. I mean, hold on. I want to see, like, this again.
Match Yuhabak in
Hold on. Just God. I think this might be one of the biggest stomps of the year. Like, it's already just 3 to 3.5 categories. Yeah, but Cell versus Metal Sonic. This is one that a lot of people had on their list because Devil Artemis is going to be leaving Death Battle. And it's only fitting that his last episode would feature Cell, the character he's most associated with. But yeah, that was Ichigo Yusuke. And I think that's it. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. Actually, give me comments. Comment down below what you want me to react to since SMG4 is no longer going on. And let me know if you want me to react to anything. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.